Profit maximization. In the short run, firms face a lot of constraint. First of all, their capital is fixed, which means that machinery, tools, buildings are unchangeable in the short run. In the market, the number of firms is also fixed, which means there's no entry of new firms and no exit of existing ones. So here's the decisions process for these business in competitive market. They cannot change the market price since they are in a competitive market. We are assuming that the costs are not changing since they've already been trying to minimize those costs. And they're always striving to minimize those costs, but assuming in the short run they cannot lower them any further. So the only thing they can try to figure out is how much quantity they need to produce in order to maximize the profit. To answer this question, we're going to look at a marginal analysis. We will look at the decision one unit at a time. So we need to look at, if I produce one more unit, what is the cost of producing that one unit? What is the revenue that it's going to bring me? And that will tell us how much we need to produce. And so we will keep producing as long as the cost of producing that additional unit is lower or gets equal to the revenue that this unit will bring to the company. And this is what we call marginal cost and marginal revenue. The marginal cost is the cost of that one additional unit. And the marginal revenue is the revenue that that one unit will bring. Here's a number example as well as a graphical representation. So we have a product, and here are its different quantity levels of production. So if you produce one unit, for instance, this is how much it would cost you total, and this is how much you would be able to sell it on the market. So you can see here that the price here is always the same because that's what the market gives us. There's nothing we can do about that. And it's on the graph, it's represented over here. This is $131. This is the price. And all the units are sold at that same price. Here's our cost for these units. So when we produce 0 unit, we still have a cost. We start at 100, but we're not selling anything, which means that your profit starts negative. And profit looking is the difference between the revenue and the cost. Let's see what happens when you produce that first unit. If you produce one unit, your cost goes from 100 to 190, which means the change is $90 for that one extra unit. So your marginal cost is $90. You can sell this unit at $131 on the market. So on that one unit that you sell, you make a additional profit of $41, which means your profit now goes from negative 100 to negative 59. So you're improving your situation. On the graph, you can see here that for that one unit that we produced, the difference between the cost here and the price at which you can sell it here is what you add to your profit. Let's see what happens when you sell a second unit. If you were to produce and sell the second unit, your cost would go up over here by $80 for that one unit. So that's your marginal cost. You sell it for $131, you're adding $51 to your profit, and you can see that it's going up in a way. It's improving, going from negative 59 to negative 8. Here is the $50 here, $51 that you are adding to your profit. Now, if you keep producing additional units, you see that the marginal cost falls right there, but after a while it starts to increase. But your price stays the same. The additional revenue that you get stays the same. So you're going to run into a situation where the additional profit that you're going to get from each additional unit is going to get smaller and smaller until there's pretty much none over here. So let's see what that would be. This is our 9th unit. So if you look at the 9th unit down here, you can see that when you produce this 9th unit, it's costing you an additional $130 just to produce that 9th one. And you sell it for $131 on the market. So you're only adding $1 to your profit. You can see here it goes from 298 to 299. If you, however, keep going and you produce one more unit, so if you do the 10th one, this one will cost you $150 to produce, and you will be able to sell it for $131. So which means you will lose money on that one unit. You will lose $19 if you produce and sell this 10th unit, and your profit will go down from $299 to $280. So you're going to lose some profit, which is not something any business wants to do. So this 9th unit here, this quantity, this output level, is the one that is going to be optimal. The one where you will maximize that profit. Because as long as there is a positive difference between the marginal revenue over here and the marginal cost, you will keep increasing profit. But if you look over here, the marginal cost now is greater than the marginal revenue, which means you're not making any money on this unit. You're even losing money on this unit. So no need to produce it, no need to sell it. This is the maximum output that you need to produce. So to summarize, as long as the marginal cost is below the marginal revenue, producing one more unit will increase profit. If, however, the marginal cost is greater, if you produce more, you will decrease your total profit. So your profit is maximized when marginal cost equals marginal revenue. Here's the analysis again on the graph once more. When you see a graph like this, here's your marginal revenue, your marginal cost, you immediately need to identify this output. This is where your profit will be maximized. What is the profit, what is the revenue also that you are making? The level of revenue that is optimal. Well, it is selling 9 units at $131, so this whole block here, that is your revenue. Total revenue is always calculated by multiplying quantity and price. 9 unit times $131, $1,179. That's your revenue. Now that we have revenue, we need to figure out what the cost is, and for that we need the average total cost curve. We have our output. We know we're producing 9 units. So if I produce 9 units, what is the cost for each unit? The cost for each unit, according to my average total cost curve, will be about $100, or 97.78 to be exact. So this whole block here is my total cost. It is 9 times 97.78. That is my total cost. So where is my profit? Well, profit is the difference. If this whole area was my revenue, this whole area here is my cost. Well, the difference here is my profit. So to summarize, the golden rule: to maximize profit, a firm has to produce the output where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. The end.